Hey guys, what's happening? Let me just do a quick sound check.
Sound check, because we always have sound problems.
Yeah, we
I
do.
don't know what.
So now we are in a different part of the house. This is currently where
This is his
this is
office.
my office.
Yeah.
And
With his 4K video. Like, look how nice that is. You can see clearly. Can you guys see my white hairs? Because they're coming in. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
See clearly. It works.
All right, so the audio works, which means that there's something wrong with her audio. We need to go to the store and get her some.
I'll take that phone. Like, give me one of those. This is a good video
What?
webcam thing.
I didn't invite you to my office so that you can start taking my stuff. Okay, so what happens? But I guess we can talk about it. It's up for discussion.
Yeah.
All right, so welcome for those of you guys who don't know us.
I'm Davina,
And I'm Hobart.
and we moved to the Philippines permanently, like long term, 100 and something days ago.
Yes.
So here we are. We're raising our kids. We're, living a Filipino lifestyle as much as possible. We live in the province, and we live in my husband's generational home.
Yes.
And this is his home where he grew up. And so our kids get to, grow up in the home where my husband grew up and go to the school where my husband went to school. So it's nice. It's cool.
Yes, it is actually nice. It's actually pretty awesome that my kids are going to the same school that I went to when I was younger. And it's by design, like we could have chosen to take our kids to private school, but that's not. I think that in order for you to get to know the culture, you have to immerse yourself in it. And private school is not necessarily immersing yourself in it because in private school, the kids are only they're treated special, right? They're not.
It costs money to go to private school,
and they wouldn't be around other kids that will teach you about the culture. In private school would, or private international school, you would get like all those international students, English speaking or other language speaking.
It's all English speaking and Tagalog.
And so they wouldn't get to know the mother tongue and things like that. And
so my husband's mother tongue is Ilocano, and so that's what they teach from kindergarten to third grade.
Mm-hmm.
So Hero's going to get one more year of Ilocano, and we really want that for our kids, the Ilocano.
Definitely. And so Himiko is going to be behind the power curve because she's already past that.
Right.
And unfortunately, that's just how the dice rolls.
But one thing that we did right away is we sought out like a tutor. And coming from the United States, I wasn't sure what kind of what we were going to find in like the ability to get a tutor. But when we were looking for tutors, we found so many options. There's one place where you can drop your kids off to get tutored, and people do that. But what we were looking for was an in-home tutor where we could, we know what's going on. We can monitor the teaching and whatever, right? And so we found, by the help of other teachers, a teacher who was looking for a part-time job. And so she comes into the home Monday through Friday, and she teaches each student for 1 hour each. And so this was really helpful for us. It's kind of how we wind down our night. Our kids come home from school. We usually have dinner. We do showers, maybe some free time where we're kind of bonding and getting to know how their day went. And then when the teacher comes in, she comes in around 6, and so she's teaching our kids till about 8. But each kid still gets that 1 hour break to be with the parents, and we kind of get that one-on-one time. And sometimes our kids are like studying in Spanish. So I'll sit there and we'll talk in Spanish, and so they don't lose their Spanish language that they already have.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's really great because I know our kids are in school all day, every day, till they go to sleep at night, but they do have a lot of catching up to do when it comes to the Ilocano language. And they do spend a lot of time thriving. I was talking to the teacher last night, and I said, "Hey, how are the kids doing?" She says they're excited about it. They're motivated to do their work. So I know for a long time, we had a lull where they were having a tough time focusing. But she says they're so focused and they're so driven that it really enjoys them.
Yeah. And you know what? Coming here to Philippines, it's not surprising to me because even at like public school, the teachers are so engaged. You know what I mean? They will talk to your kids. They will discipline your kids. They'll tell your kids. They don't have a problem telling your kids like, "Hey, don't do that." You know what I mean? And I like that. And I
Confiscate.
confiscate things, take things away, and they'll just tell you. So that way, it's like every day we work on the kids' education and the kids' discipline, and we are a part of that as much as we want to, or we can not be a part of it. But for us, we're like, okay, anything wrong, anything what we can do? Oh, well, your son, your daughter did this, they're doing great. What can they work on? In addition to that, an advantage of having a teacher as the one like assisting my kids at home is that they're able to communicate with the other teacher, and they're like, okay, so what is their weakness? And they've done that. They engage each other. What are their weakness? What are their strengths? What are something that I can help you? So that way your student can thrive in your classroom. And it's amazing how that works because the teachers are willing to communicate. There's no pridefulness and saying, oh, well, no, this is my kid. This is what I'm going to do. No, it's like if you help them there at their house, then guess what? Ultimately, they'll be helped also here at school.
Yeah.
So that's an aspect.
So
that I
they're
like
really working together. Like the teacher will go to the other teacher and say, like, hey, where does he need to improve on? Where does she need to improve? And so I'll tell you, this is the craziest thing. Like our children have been struggling since COVID with reading. Okay. And Himiko is just so like, it hurts my heart to see her like struggling with her reading. Well, this girl is picking up Spanish books, English books, Ilocano books, and she is reading out loud. I feel so proud to see her reading, and she'll just sit there. She's sitting and she's reading a whole Spanish book by herself. I'm like, baby girl, what you doing? She's like, oh, I'm just reading this book. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so happy. Like it finally like all like clicked for her, the years and years that she has been struggling and really trying. And now everywhere we go, they're having competitions of who can read the signs the fastest, and hey, what's that sign say? And what's that sign say? And so now our kids are reading and they're reading fast and they're doing great. And they're reading in 3 languages.
So yeah, it's amazing. So any regrets taking our kids to a public school instead of a private school?
No, I think that was the best decision we could have done is taking them to public school.
Yes. Even like the stuff that we were like surprised. Like for example, New Year's, right? So they're supposed to come back on a certain day. Well, guess what? We did. We took our kids back that certain day, and we didn't know that it was kind of like a cultural trend that the kids continued to not go to school for that week, right? And the thing is, I was like, that's great.
We didn't know that.
We didn't know that.
We were taking our kids to school.
Yeah.
There were only 3 kids in school, and the 3 kids in school are the smartest kids.
Yeah,
like they're the top of the class.
And the thing is, we're like, yeah, sure, that's no problem. Hey, are you doing instructions today? Well, yes, we're gonna do the instructions for this portion of the morning, and then that's pretty much it. You can come pick up your kid. Are you sure? Is that okay? And it's something that we kind of took advantage of. We're like, all right, sounds good. We're gonna take them somewhere else in the afternoon. I'm not even fazed by it because I know what they're learning now is a foundation of for them to kind of thrive later on. But at the same time, it's like you don't need to be sitting in a classroom for 8 hours a day in order for you to get what you need from that.
Right.
At this point, from my perspective, it's just like when kids go to school, it's just socialization. Right. The stuff that they learn, perfect. You know what I mean? They learn the language.
That's cherry on the top.
Cherry on the top. It really is. And a lot of parents are like, they have to go to school. They have to do this. They have to do that. Yeah, school is great. So that way they can communicate with other kids and learn and grow. But for the most part, it's socialization. It's not until their brain is developed a little bit more, so that way they can actually grasp and learn what they're doing.
The context.
Of it. For example, do you remember what you learned in first grade?
I must have learned like my ABCs and my pluses and my minuses.
Right. So those things that they're learning are awesome. But I think it's it's socialization, right? That's the key part of it and most important thing. There is a difference between, kids going to an actual brick and mortar school versus being
Going
taught at
online
home
or going,
and being online. There is no
self-paced.
human interaction. There's nothing like that. So I think that what they're getting out of it now and how far they are progressing, they're enjoying it.
Mhm.
They are learning the language, multiple languages. They're inviting their friends over. They're getting invited to all these things. So it's a win. It's
Yeah.
a win. There's no and when they're not there, when they get to leave, it's a win for us. It's
Yeah, we're like, oh well, let's go have some fun. And what's great is like yesterday, okay, my doctor told me I shouldn't be eating any sweets, right? Okay, so I'm cutting out my sweets, which is fine. And we walk towards the school. I see the ice cream man. The ice cream man's right outside the school. Well, guess what? In the States, I would never buy my kids ice cream at the ice cream. Sorry, paletero. Your ice creams were way too expensive. $3 each ice cream, wasn't having it. And I think one time in the US,
it's $5.
I had $5. Each ice cream was $3. I looked at the paletero. I told him 2 ice creams for $5, and he's like, okay. And then like I'm like, come on, man, you want my business?
Okay.
Take my $5.
So,
but anyways,
so
I
they
got some
decided
ice
to purchase the most expensive ice cream there is,
cream.
right? Which is like this big old cone. It's got like a whole bunch of scoops on there, right? And
I get my kids ice cream on the way to school. Like I don't care. It's breakfast time. I see the ice cream man. We're getting ice cream. I don't know. Like it's just like culturally, like we're here. We're enjoying Philippines. I'm just like the ice cream man's here 8 a.m. Sure, let's get like.
Okay, so how much did you spend though for your ice cream, my ice cream, and
$1 total? 3 ice creams, $1.
So 50 peso.
Yes,
right, 50 peso, and this is like
Mhm.
huge.
Yeah,
ice
yeah.
cream.
It's not even $1. It's like 85 cents.
It took us like probably 20-30 minutes to finish the ice cream. Well, my daughter.
It was a big ice cream, and then I got a small one. You know, the 10 peso, because I'm like, let's not do no change. 20, 10 peso, and then we're good to go. And that's less than $1.
Mm-hmm. And so, what are the disadvantages and what are the advantages, right? So here, the ice cream man, they make it.
Oh,
they make it from
yeah.
scratch. It's not like, it's made over here from a factory, it's packaged, it's shipped. No, this is homemade. They make it in their shop or whatever it is, right? So we know that they have fresh ingredients. The milk is fresh. All these things are great. And it tastes, how does it taste?
Tastes so good.
It tastes so yummy.
It tastes so good.
It tastes so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got ice cream.
But like it's nice. I really enjoy it. I go pick up my kids after school. I'm not in a rush. My kids are playing with their friends. I just sit there and watch them and hang out and let them play. Let them interact with their friends after school. I am not in a rush to go anywhere, to go to work or nothing. My kids are right in front of me. They're having a good time. Dinner's ready. I'm going to go home, take them. They're going to eat their dinner. We're going to go into showers, and then they're going to go see the teacher. The teacher comes over. So,
speaking of which, I think we're supposed to create like a signal sign for the principal coming or something like that.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So we're supposed to create flags.
Oh, we are?
Yes.
Okay.
I got the text messages.
So we're having a new principal come through, and I guess we're supposed to have flags to wave or what?
Yeah, to welcome the new
Oh,
principal,
that's cute.
Cool.
That's cute.
And that's happening soon. So I think we're gonna have to do that today.
We'll work on it.
If we want to
participate. Yeah. So we got an email or a text message. We're all on a Facebook. All the parents are in Facebook groups with their teachers, and the teachers will just send us info on the in the group chat. So that's nice.
So the topic for today is basically life challenges in Philippines.
Oh God!
Are there
really?
any life challenges here in Philippines?
Yes, there was a very big challenge that just happened this week.
No. Let's not go to that.
You don't want to talk about that yet?
Is there any other life challenges that you would see? Are there any really? Have you been challenged?
I mean, I'm challenged with the fact that I can't get good avocado. Okay, I love avocado. I'm a California girl. I live right there in Paso Robles, where you can get avocado right up the street in Morro Bay. And there's no avocado out here. I don't know when the season is. I don't even know where to go. But if I see avocado on the side of the road, we are stopping and we are going to buy it.
Okay. Any other life challenges?
That is my biggest challenge.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
No, but we do have a challenge, guys.
It's what?
What
before
you
go to
okay?
that-
You go into your challenges because I want to talk
you
about
know-
the challenge.
Okay. So life challenges here in Philippines, I think. Well, my son's life challenge is being woken up by the roosters
The
next door.
roosters.
Right, so he's like, these roosters, these chickens are always making noise in the morning. Like
They
I
woke
have to
them
wake up. So the roosters they wake up like at 5:30 in the morning, and then they're like caw, 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 and then like everyone's
Yeah.
awake. Everyone's awake. It's like, all right, well, it's time to wake up, guys.
It's
The
true.
roosters are up, and the thing is, our neighbors have multiple roosters, so they're always going off. It's not a problem. It's not a problem, but it's a challenge for my son. For me,
Yeah.
I think it's so cool that like I don't have to wake him up.
I mean, so we do wake up kind of early. Today was kind of like one of those later gator days, but most of the time we're up pretty early. Yes, the roosters are communicating.
Yes. And so I think one of the challenges that we have, because the kids have we have a teacher coming over to the house and teaching them, is that they go to sleep pretty late, like later than what we normally would. So we would put our
8:30.
kids to bed
8.
like around 7:45. They're asleep by 8. But because tutoring ends around 8 o'clock, then we kind of have to push that until they're kind of calm, relaxed, and pushes it to like
8:39.
9 o'clock. And so that's a life challenge. But you know what? I think the kids are getting used to it. They're still getting 9-10 hours of sleep because they go to
Yeah.
sleep at 8:30, 9 o'clock, and they wake up around 6:30.
Mhm.
But today they woke up early, but they were just moving really slow. But I think that's a challenge in the United States as well, is having to wake up the kids, motivating them to kind of get up, get ready, go to school. Depending on who cooks breakfast that morning. Like you cooked breakfast today, right? Making them eat. What other challenges do you think that we deal with here on a
I mean, we don't really have the challenges that, like, okay, when we first got here, you may have had cold water. That might be a challenge. The AC, like we didn't have AC, that might be a challenge. Those are some hot days. But since we have AC, we have the water heaters, like we really don't have any problems.
Okay.
None.
And you know what? Taking cold showers,
It's invigorating.
It's invigorating. It's supposed to be one of those things that shocks you and kind of like it's good for you.
Yeah. No, I was telling Hober, I was like, hey, moving out here to the Philippines it's like an upgrade. And what do you think?
Upgrade?
Am I right?
Yeah, it is. Less stress, not a part of kind of the rat race, not having to wake up in the morning, deal with traffic.
We live in
having
a
to go to
beautiful
work,
home.
The house that we live in now is a lot bigger.
Mhm.
We
We have a car. We have all our stuff from the States.
Yeah, we have as you guys can see, the bike in the background. I would think, and the thing is, things here are just a lot cheaper.
They are.
They're just a lot cheaper.
They are way cheaper.
And I feel like I have gained more time in my day to kind of do productive things.
Yeah.
Like I've been buying books. I haven't really sat down and read them, right? But I've been buying books and
He's
kind
got
of
good intentions.
I'm interested in like reading them. It's just that they're not in the right place when I want to read them. You know what I mean? I'm like, I could do this right now, or I could do that. So I prioritize the things that my family wants. Like my kids wanted to put shelves up, so I put shelves up. For Hero, now it's Himiko's turn. She wants it very specific. Piece of wood has to be against the wall, and this and that. So
I'm gonna go check the door. I thought maybe I heard.
no.
Am I good?
Yeah,
No?
you're good.
Oh, okay.
Let me see what other life challenges. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I think that maybe communication with my family, kind of face to face. usually probably every 3 months or every 4 months, I would go visit, my mom, or I would go visit my brother, or I would go, and that's not here, like that kind of like, hey, how are you doing? We do like FaceTime or Zoom calls or messenger calls, but it's not the same. It's not the same as visiting
Mhm.
someone and catching up. Like what I like to do is kind of like go out with my brother and my sister-in-law.
That's a challenge. That's a challenge.
That's that.
Like it's hard to get to some good restaurants because we live in the province.
Yeah, but Maria Paula though,
She's great.
she's I mean,
Okay, I'll be dreaming about Maria Paula.
okay, so we
But-
go to like we went to this place called Booty Jew, right?
Booty Jew.
Booty Jew gave me the booty
Booty
juice.
juice.
So not going back there again. But it's a upscale restaurant at the SM Mall,
Right.
and the caranderia is way better.
Carne video is way better.
So I talk to people, right? And what I've learned is that the caranderia, what they do is they purchase fresh vegetables, fresh meat daily, right?
Mhm.
If you go to an upscale restaurant,
They're getting
they're
food
getting
in a
like
box or
processed food,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't compare it. It's
No.
not. It's not even
No.
the same. So
No.
the quality is definitely better in the cheap parts,
Yeah.
right? Compared to go to an upscale restaurant.
But look, okay, so if I compare some of the places that we would eat at, I mean, we ate at El Cortile, La Cocheta, like Pappy McGregor's, okay? We ate at, Odyssey Cafe, Jeffrey's, all these great restaurants, like with just good food. And this is fresh food, okay? Farm to table. You've got Thomas Hill Organics. Just so many amazing places to eat. Buena Tavola. Oh my God. In Paso Robles alone, like that is like a foodie mecca. Like you go there, you eat so good, right?
Bravo's Pizza.
Bravo's Pizza is out of this world. And so everything we're telling you, if you are ever looking for anywhere to go,
In the
in
Central
Paso
Coast, yeah.
Robles area, Tascadero.
It's a wine tasting.
We didn't even
area.
tell you about San Luis Obispo, Morro Bay, and there's so many good places to eat in San Luis.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come out here to the province, and there is.
That's a
I
challenge.
miss
That's
that.
A challenge. That's a challenge.
I miss date night like that. That's nice.
Right, but in
We're still
return,
around.
what do I get? I don't drink as much. I'm a lot healthier. The food is not processed. There's less pesticides. All these like natural benefits.
We're saving money.
Oh, I can't.
200, 300 US dollar on one dinner a night.
A night. That's in
Yeah.
the US. Here,
Yeah.
we don't even spend that the entire month. So,
Right.
Um,
Right.
That's just crazy. So as far as all the challenges that we have, I can think of positive things that are coming from it.
Yeah.
I can, right?
Yeah.
Because in the US, I was going to the gym, but I wasn't losing weight. Here, I'm eating every day and I'm losing weight.
Yeah.
Just because the food is so natural, and I'm learning, I'm like, okay, well, fat foods, I'm eating fatty foods, but the thing is, I'm still losing weight. So what does that tell me about the stuff that I've been told in the United States? So
Yeah.
challenges.
Yeah.
Okay, restaurant. What else?
Every now and then I'll be like, but it's not. Like for me, you can't just go to one store and find the things you need. You have to go like 4 or 5 stores, and they don't have the brands that you like. Like you want a brand, you should bring it with you from the States, because you're not going to be able to find that good quality stuff here. Yes, you'll find good things here, but it's just a little different.
Yeah, it is. So we bought, for example, in electronics, we bought a electric stove, right? We were thinking that it's like gonna be big,
Mhm.
because it was like, hey, this is the top of the line. It's so tiny. It's so small. I'm like, what is going on here? We would have been better off purchasing like the industrial size one.
Yeah.
But we thought that we were getting like 5 like heater burners, but it only came with 4, and it's just
It's
so
tiny.
small. It's tiny.
Well, it's fine though. You know, I'm glad I didn't get rid of my gas stove because one day, just this like 2 weeks ago, we had no electricity in the morning, and you know, I
For
had to
4
go
hours.
for 4 hours,
4 hours.
and that was during breakfast time.
Oh, that's a challenge right there.
That is a challenge. So because we bought everything electric and we're trying to go solar pretty soon here, we were like, well, let's get rid of everything else. And I said, well, we might need that. And guess what? I was cooking breakfast out in the dirty kitchen, which is not really dirty. It's nice and beautiful because he built me a whole nother structure. But yeah, you know, I was using gas because my electrical wasn't working. And I was like, don't open the fridge, guys. Don't open the fridge because everything's going to go get cold or hot in there. So yeah, there are some challenges living here. The blackouts, unplanned,
Okay, but the question is, how often do they happen?
not very often. It happened
Once every month?
once every 2 to 3 months. Yeah. And it happened on the weekend. So it wasn't even that big a deal. Like it wasn't like during the weekdays. It was on a weekend. I think it was on Sunday.
Mhm.
And it was early in the morning. It started at 5 a.m. and it ended around 9.
Okay, so something else too that initially when we first got here, a challenge was transportation. But we rectified that by purchasing a motorcycle to get around town and then by purchasing an SUV. Another challenge is the internet. Right?
Yeah,
So
the internet was a big
the
problem.
internet was a big problem with us. We had to go with 2 providers, US ATB, which went like up. Now, the maximum that we could was from 0 to up to 200 megabytes per second.
Yeah, and I don't know
And
how
that
they're selling
was
that.
False, right?
How are they
It's
even
like
selling that?
at some point I was thinking like, hey, 200 megabytes per second, upload, download all the time.
That
No,
sounded like it was good. Like, so we got it.
it's like
And it was
5 megabytes per second, 10 megabytes per second
It was
here
like
and there.
up to 250.
Yeah. So now they have up to 300, but it's whack.
And you have to pay a little bit more to get it. I'm like, why are they selling that? Like
Yeah.
that who's buying this?
But still though, so we have it for a year and it's 1,500.
And we couldn't get rid of it
Yeah.
because
You would have to pay.
you still have to pay for it
You have to
anyway.
pay for it anyways. So we're like, all right, we're keeping it. But we changed that with PLDT fiber internet. Oof, it's so fast. Right now-
PLDT, the way to go.
We are clocking 615
Megabytes.
Download.
Yeah.
and upload. Right.
Right.
That is
Both.
fast. And if you want to, you can even go higher than that.
Like I can push like upload on YouTube to do a video, and I won't even have time to edit something if I messed up because within like a second it's already 100% already online.
Okay. So other challenges that you guys might run into going out here in Philippines, but we don't have that problem, is 2-factor authentication.
Right. Two-factor authentication.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, let's go.
Okay, so before you even leave America and you come here, you want to change everything you can to an app that's called like Authenticator app. Okay, if you can do that, and you want to make sure you keep your device, with you, and because you're gonna have to do the two authenticator, especially when you use a
Banking.
your banking system, you're trying to pay your bills, whatever it might be. For us, we try to log into different applications, and we need the authenticator. And and then if you don't have a phone number that they can reach you at or an email, then you're kind of like you're sitting with your hands on yourself because you can't do anything. Like I've literally had it where my phone number links to my email, but my email links to my phone number, and now I can't get in.
Okay, you want to tell everybody some recent challenge that you just had?
I was hacked, guys. I was hacked on my Facebook account that is my my global one that everybody can see, my public one, right? The one that I use for when I'm advertising my YouTube stuff. Well, it was hacked, and there was no way for me to change my password. There was no way for me to do any changes because I need my password. My password was changed, and I couldn't, and it's not like something like a hack that came out of nowhere. No, like when I was somewhere, I got a two-part authenticator request. And I was like, I'm not on the internet doing this. Somebody's on there doing it. And they broke it. Okay. They got into it. And so I still am logged in, but if I log out, I'm not going to be able to get back in. And so I'm not using it anymore. I'm trying to clean it up. And I'm using my personal, which now at this point, like, hey, if you ain't my friend on Facebook, we ain't going to be friends because I don't know who to trust. Okay. There's a fake accounts out there. There's bots out there. And it's just upsetting. Right. But my two-part authenticator. So I added two-part authenticator to everything. And so at this point, you got to have my two-part authenticator to get into stuff. It's a big problem. It's a big challenge. And then the other thing is, if you don't have a VPN, then you're not going to be able to get into some of the things. Like I wasn't able to get into Charles Schwab or Edward Jones. I had to have an IP address that was from the US, or else they wouldn't let me in.
So these things are challenges that we kind of foresaw was going to be an issue. So to rectify that challenge, what we did was before coming over here, we had the two-factor authenticator like downloaded to our phone, and we have US phone number and we have Philippines phone number. So we thought that, well, we don't really need a Philippines phone number, and ultimately we still don't. We still don't need a Philippines phone number, but we want to keep our interactions separate. So our US phone is just US phone. That's all we do stuff.
We don't give out our US phone over here. As a matter of fact, I don't even give out my Filipino phone number over here.
Yeah.
If they ask me for a phone number, I just act like I don't have one. I'll be like, oh, I don't have a number. No, I can't give you my information. Oh, I don't have an address. I can't give you my information. And I'm always just saying no to it because they don't have protections on consumer data. They really don't.
Yeah, they really don't. So is that really a challenge? No, it's not really a challenge because it was a challenge because you got hacked. I didn't get hacked.
Yeah, I got hacked here in the Philippines. I got hacked.
I'm not that active. Okay, so what other challenges do you think we've dealt with since we've been here? Culturally, language barrier.
Language barrier is a huge one. Even though they speak English, the message that they're getting and that you're saying is not the same. It is not the same.
Example.
I mean, I could be asking for
the fast food restaurant.
We could be at a fast food restaurant. I'm saying like, hi, can I order fries with that? And then they'll be like, solo or with the drink? And I'll be like, but can we add fries on it? No, the meal doesn't come that way. Either you get it solo or you get the drink. And I'm like, okay, but I don't want the drink. Okay, well, we can't move the meal around. I'm just like, psh.
Right. So something else too is like, hey, let me get that bucket. Right. So I'm ordering, let me get that bucket of 4-piece chicken. Right. So here I am thinking I'm ordering the bucket of 4-piece chicken, but I didn't say the number like a K2 or S1 or F1 or G3 or something like that. Right. I said the description, and I said all of it in English. And when we got our food, they gave me individual like 1-piece chicken with the rice and the
4 times.
They did it 4 times, and I'm like,
I was like, we ordered this much food, and it was like you ordered 4 individual meals for each piece of chicken, and it was just like.
Yeah. So there's definitely some language barrier. Even me, I speak Ilocano and Tagalog, and it's hard for me sometimes. Translating for Divina has taught me that some words do not have like a literal translation in Ilocano. So I can't translate that word. So I have to find the closest word, which kind of loses its meaning. So culturally, there are things that are accepted in the US that is not necessarily present here in Philippines, and that's where the language barrier comes from. Ordering a bucket of chicken, they'll give it to you in pieces. And so, what about that one time that you went to Shakey's Pizza?
Shakey's, they really got over on me at Shakey's. They really did.
No, go ahead. Tell the story.
So I went there and I ordered 3 pizzas and I was taking them to go. The guy comes up to me. He says, "Hey, we have this deal. It's good for a year. You get a discount. You buy one, take one." And I was like, "Okay, sure." And I was like, "But I don't want 6 pizzas right now. Like, I'll just take." I was like, "I just bought 3 pizzas. Like, can I just get these put onto the card?" And he's like, "Yeah." And well, then I tell Holbert, like, "Hey, what are they trying to sell me? I don't understand what's happening." And so Holbert talks to the guy. The guy walks away. He's off doing something. He comes back with 3 cards. Apparently, I bought 3. Buy one, take one. 3. What do I need that for? And then, and so then on each card, it wasn't like it was like I got a credit for the pizzas that I didn't take. No, it was like you get a free pizza every year, for your birthday. So I was like, I kind of got conned there a little bit. But then who needs 3 cards for this deal? So I got 3. It was like if 3 of me, like he, me, and somebody else, each bought 3 plans for the year. And I really got screwed there. Like I had no idea what was happening.
So again, language barrier. Even after I clarified, the guy was still like, "Wah, wah, ah, ah. It's already bought. We already purchased it. It's already
Why
done."
did I buy 3? One would have been fine. Yeah, it's really strange.
What else? What other challenges have we had? So just recently, I took my SUV back to the dealership, and that's something else too. Is that like what I'm used to in the United States? Here I am, my mindset. I'm bringing my mindset. This is my fault because I'm bringing my mindset. I'm thinking, they're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna have the same standards as dealerships in the United States. When I purchase,
It's Ford.
it's Ford, right? It's Ford. If I purchase a 5-year plan, it's gonna be manufacturer service. No, what I purchased was a 5-year plan based off of dealership requirements, not manufacturer recommendation. It was dealership. And how they do things here is every 10,000 kilometers, even though your vehicle does not even say service me because the oil life is still good, right? The dealership wants you to bring it in because that's how they kind of get you to buy that, right? And that's probably why a lot of secondhand vehicles here have like 50,000 kilometers or less because that service plan is over. Additionally, I would think that when I purchase a service plan, the tire rotation is a part of it. All these other things that's expected, or they have like a checklist of what they do every 10K kilometer on the service. They don't have that. So it is encompassed upon me as the owner of the vehicle to find out a research like now, what is it? Because these guys might not have the same standards that I am expected them to have, right? But it's Ford. This organization is from the United States. How can they not follow the same format? But hey, that's a challenge.
Yeah. So we're in the Philippines, guys. We get it. You're in the Philippines. It's not America. Yeah, I get it. All right. But here's a challenge that nobody has to face. But we did. Okay. We were blessed with a chicken. All right.
So
I have a friend who won a turkey and it was live. I remember.
alive.
What was Tina Scridato? Okay, my friend, Staff Sergeant Tina, she won a raffle or something on Thanksgiving many years ago and got this turkey. And it was alive. So she took it home and she's like, I don't know what to do with this thing. It's like it's the turkey, right? It was running around in the backyard. All right, well, she had to get some help, to take care of the turkey. Well, we were blessed with a chicken. All right. Chicken comes to our door. I'm like, okay. So we put the chicken in the front yard because that's the safest spot for it. We got dogs. They're going to eat the chicken. So we got to keep the chicken over here. Well, I'm looking at Hobart like, what are we going to do with this chicken? And the kids instantly fell in love with the chicken. Instantly. Giving it a name. Mama, did you give the chicken some water? Did you feed the chicken? And I'm like, yes, baby, I fed the chicken. I gave it water. Okay. And so that's day number 1. Day number 2, I'm looking at the chicken. It's starting to poop everywhere. I'm thinking, and I told Hero, I said, Hero, if that chicken doesn't lay no eggs, he's gonna have to become meat. And Hero's over there praying to God that the chicken will lay an egg. And he's like, Mama, maybe you haven't seen it. Maybe it's out there somewhere. I was like, baby, that chicken is old. It needs to go. It needs to go to chicken heaven. And Hero is just not having it. Okay. And so Hober and I are like,
Hey, don't bring me into this, okay? I wanted to keep the chicken, but go ahead, your story.
so, I asked the person who helps me around the house if she could go and buy the ingredients so that we could make this chicken, you know, go to chicken heaven. And so, she was tasked with an assignment, and I told Hero, I said, Hero, you need to say bye to your chicken. And he's like, you're not gonna kill it, are you? I'm not eating it, right? And we're like, okay, this is drama, this is crazy. But Himiko, she's like, that chicken's gonna be dinner, huh? And I'm like, she's just something else, right? And so she's laughing and she's just like egging her brother on, and I couldn't bring myself to tell him that what we were eating for lunch was the chicken. And as a matter of fact, I had a real hard time eating the
I
chicken.
did too. I also had a hard time eating the stupid chicken. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, because they were talking about the chicken in the middle of lunch. And so I was like, why am I having a hard time eating this chicken? Like,
And yes, I lied to my child. I told him that I gave the chicken away and that the chicken was still living its life out, somewhere else. And while we ate it, and it did not feel good. Okay,
it doesn't. It
it
doesn't.
doesn't feel good to
That's
eat.
by far one of the greatest challenges we've had, right? Is having a chicken for 48 hours, right? The kids naming it, and
And
then
then putting a lot of love and care
putting
into
and
it.
then like you should have never fed it.
I know, like I was like, okay, it's a soul. It's a creature.
Yeah. So now there's still poop in the front yard, and my kids.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
my kids are reminded by this chicken every day, and it was an emotional roller coaster
it was.
for like I don't know. I mean, we're still talking about it, right?
Well,
So
I mean, like he and I were on our walk today, and we are like, "Hey, how was it eating that chicken?" And he was like, "It was horrible. I did not enjoy eating that chicken." And I was like, I know, right? I felt so bad eating the chicken.
that chicken, I couldn't eat it. I could not eat it. I was like, oh my gosh, we gotta do something about this chicken. I couldn't. I ate what I could,
Mhm.
and I just but I
Yeah,
couldn't eat
yeah.
it.
I don't know. It's just so hard, And I'm sure it's. Yeah, I don't know. Is it easy for other people? I've seen. I love animals. Okay, so it's just hard for me. But I do understand that you do need some nutrients, and you can get that from animal.
For me, I think that I would have been okay, but they were talking about the chicken, and my son was so emotional.
He was very emotional.
About like the chicken.
He's like, "Mama, this isn't the chicken, right?" And I was like, "No, baby." He's like eating it.
I'm picking up a drumstick. I'm like, this is
I'm-
chicken.
I'm
I
looking,
just stood quiet. I was like, oh, I'm not even gonna jump into this.
I'm looking into the pot and I see the chicken's head and the chicken's feet, and I'm just like, this is the whole chicken right here. I'm like, yeah, I can't do it. Yeah, that's definitely a challenge for us.
So yeah, that is by far one of the greatest challenges is keeping this chicken for 48 hours or so and having our kids fall in love with it and then having it cooked and eat it while we're talking about this chicken. And
Yeah.
so our life here in Philippines is pretty slow paced.
Mm.
Financially, it is great because we're not spending a lot of money. As far as time, we're having to spend more time together, and more family time with the kids, being able to do whatever we want. If we decide that we are gonna go drive somewhere, we are going to drive somewhere. You know,
Mhm.
if we decide that we're gonna stay home, we're gonna stay home. In fact, our kids have begged us. They said, "Can we stay home this weekend? I don't want to kind of." I don't want to leave the house. I want to stay home for the weekend. Can we please stay home? And
Mm.
these are some of the things that we are dealing with. So, are we stressed? No.
No.
I don't see the downside of moving to the
No.
Philippines other than missing, family. But we're
Yeah.
surrounded with family here.
We are surrounded with family. We've got an uncle down the street, cousins everywhere. Our kids go to school with their cousins. We've got friends. I'm feeling very accepted at the school by the other moms. I feel like I get the hellos, and everybody is just really warm and welcoming. So yeah, no, it's a good transition for us. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have been. Oh, there's a thumbs up. So everybody
See if we
give
can
us
make a
a thumbs
party.
up. Make a party.
Woo!
Hey, make it rain.
No,
make it rain,
no.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. So
well.
Yu-Gi-Oh's in the house. Thank you for
Hi,
joining us
Yu-Gi-Oh!
today.
Good
All right.
morning.
So he had just curious. As a Filipino who grew up here, I just want to get your idea since summer is also near. Will you have a tuli, or is he already, since he is growing? So my tuli is basically circumcised. My son is already circumcised. Right?
TMI.
But the thing is, Yu-Gi-Oh! It is common for kids to go to the lake during the summer when they are about age 7, 8, 9, 10 to get circumcised.
Wow.
And since that is the topic, I'm just gonna go into it real quick.
Whoa, whoa, TMI,
So-
TMI. Okay, close
This
your
is
ears.
this
close your ears.
is this is not for kids.
Not
This is
for
not for
kids,
kids. All right, it's not for
guys.
kids. So if you're a child and watching this with your mom somewhere, Heather, okay, this is. I just want to caution you. So what happens in the summer is because medical care or circumcision from a hospital kind of costs money. What happens here is that a whole bunch of boys go to the lake, and there's usually an old man, right, that is kind of there sharpening his knife, you know what I mean, against the rocks, and it's like the water is flowing. You already know like that's what he does. So these kids, they are told to bring guava leaves, right, the young sapling of a guava leaf, and you bring that with you. And the process is that there's a line. You get in line, right? And so when you get in line, the man will tell you, hey, don't look down, right? So basically, they're taking the private of
The foreskin.
the foreskin of the little boys, and basically they're kind of putting it, and here it is, right? As you're there, the guy says, don't look down, and chew the leaf that you brought with you, right? And so when you're chewing the leaf, and don't keep chewing the leaf. What happens is, of course, the knife goes up, the knife comes down, it cuts the foreskin, and that's how you get circumcised, right? Showing the head of the penis for little boys. What happens then is the guy will tell you, hey, spit out the guava, right? But sometimes when you are chewing on this guava, right, it kind of like a surprise, and it's like, oh, it's painful, and you swallow it. So sometimes the boys swallow it. But yes, that's
What does the
happens.
guava do?
The guava eases the pain. It's kind of
Is
like
it a natural
natural
pain reliever?
pain reliever.
Interesting.
And so they cut the foreskin.
We got that part.
Yeah,
we got
and,
it. Okay,
and
we
then
got
that's
it.
exactly what happens. Often some kids swallow the guava, right? But you're supposed to spit it on your private area. And
Interesting.
Then you.
That sounds very
It
sanitary.
is, but it is done in the summer because there's no school, and whichever boys are walking around with skirts, that's who are the boys that just got circumcised.
Interesting.
And
What a
so-
cultural, interesting story.
There you go, Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know if I missed anything. Let me know, right? So, but my son is already circumcised, and so
Hi, Roberto.
Alejandro, how's it going? Thank you for joining us.
welcome to our
Hey,
channel.
welcome to our channel, Amy A. Hey,
Hi,
hey, the
Amy.
chicken.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
the chicken.
know.
That's something you're gonna have to deal with. So when you have chickens,
The chicken, the goat,
yeah,
the pig.
Amy,
Like,
when you
it's
guys
so
get
hard.
here, don't name your chickens, okay?
Okay,
Yeah. So, I don't know who that
Messed
is.
I know. I don't know either, but look at this one where they talk about the chicken came thinking he was safe and adopted to this expat family.
Yeah, no, chicken was not safe, and
And it was
Tinola.
It was Tinola. Yeah.
It was tinola with papaya, or was
No, it was sayote,
Sayote.
tinola. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, with some
It was.
few
It was
leaves.
hard.
It was
It was a sad day.
the rice was good. The rice was good.
The rice.
But I couldn't eat the chicken. I could not eat the chicken. All right, so if you are in the chat, if you have any questions, feel free to ask and we will answer any questions at all. We are here as a learning experience for you guys.
We are definitely learning.
For if you are planning to come here to Philippines and just like us, we were ex-military. We spent 21 years in the military, retired. So now we're here kind of just enjoying our time, enjoying our life, raising our kids.
Yeah, we came back to the Philippines. I mean, the Philippines has been a dream, like a fantasy for us. And we finally made it real. You know, he grew up here and he went to the States when he was 11. So he still has the language and he grew up with, some of the cultural norms and stuff. But we got here, we're still learning a lot about the culture, like a ton about the culture that he doesn't know. Like, we're learning about farming and we're learning about, the wages of people. What's the proper wage? We just learned so much.
Okay. So I don't know what I'm about to talk about, maybe like a little bit.
2 more years, Alejandro.
Taboo or whatever, right? But I don't think it's just me, but I have had this cough, right? And it comes and goes. I've had this cough and it comes and goes. And my daughter had it for like 3 weeks, right? And it's like ongoing. And so we don't know if it is happening to anyone else in the US.
We got real sick here.
But we got real sick here. What is crazy is that we got sick the same time that everyone else around us in the community, in the school, and they've had a cough, whatever, flu. But the thing is, everyone else seems to be over it, but I'm not. And we are not. Maybe it's something that we were introduced to in the United States that we carried over here, and that's why I still have it. But my kids,
he has a horrible
I
cough.
have a horrible cough sometimes, and I have to like hawk a phlegm every now and then. So if any of you guys in the United States are having that same issue, I would like your insight, basically, on why.
This guy is he's got some conspiracies. Okay, if he had his own channel where he could talk about all his man stuff, he would. Let's see. I do. Okay, so Amy has some questions about Navy federal process. Okay. Yeah, I posted that. Okay, but the 1% discount for senior NCOs. What did they say to you when you were talking to them?
They didn't say anything about the 1% discount as I was an NCO, but they what they did is they filed for the loan for me right through and I got approved. When I got approved for an APR, and I think our APR is about.
I thought you said 6%
APR, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe less than that, but I think it was at 6% APR. And the thing is, they never told me about that 1% discount. Being a senior NCO,
the 1% APR,
a 1% APR discount, and the thing is, I wasn't even aware of that. And so maybe that's something that you can bring up. You can ask. But what I will do is I would like to call Navy Federal sometime today. What time is it over there?
Right now is a good time in the States.
Yeah.
It's I don't know what time it is.
6 p.m.
Oh, it's 6.
Yeah, it's too late.
Oh, so, it's too late.
It's too late for me to call because Navy Federal is in the East Coast. So I will inquire about that and say, hey, I'll do a little bit of research and find out so I know what I'm talking about. But I wasn't aware of that senior NCO discount. And I will inquire about it to see if I qualify for it. But the loan is pretty much done, it's completed. But I do have to call them back regarding the title and see if I turned in the right documents to them. Yu-Gi-Oh says, haha, old school scary, but that's the way it is. I think until now in rural areas, yes, that's still happening in the rural areas. The tule or circumcision.
Mhm.
So Amy says, yeah, they gave it to me before. I gotta ask if you retired if they will still honor it. Oh, that's great. I didn't know that.
Yeah. We definitely didn't get any loans with Navy Federal while we were in. It wasn't until we were over here that we were like, oh, we know Navy Federal does it, so we applied for it, and they did grant it.
Yes.
The whole vehicle, like
Yes.
that's a lot of money to owe. And they take it right out of your bank account. So it's mandatory automatic withdrawal. And so you don't even see it. As soon as your check hits the on the first, they're taking it on the first. Their portion. What we have to pay for our loan.
Oh, yeah. Hey, but you know what the beautiful thing about it is, though? Is that before the pre-approval process, right, you don't really know. I'm like, well, I need this much in peso. And they're like, okay, well, how much do you want in the loan? So I gave them an amount in the loan, but
we went a little over.
We went a little bit over just to cover some of the taxes,
closing costs,
and things like that. But
so
what they quoted us was what they quoted us. So we got a little bit more from the loan.
So we ended up getting a little of the loan for ourselves.
To kind of use. Yeah. So,
so that's not so bad. So we took a loan out. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, Navy Federal is actually great. One thing that I would advise you, Amy, right, and Roberto too. I think you guys have. I don't know if we're talking to the same ones.
Amy, Roberto. I don't know.
Are they?
I don't think so.
Okay, so Roberto Alejandro.
He's trying to hook people up.
No. But Amy is a part of another couple who's planning to come here.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
so Roberto is another family who's also.
Oh yeah, they are together.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
So I would encourage you to start that Philippine National Bank or start a Filipino bank. For us, we went through the Navy. I mean,
but
Philippine
you could
National
go through
Bank.
BPI.
Or BDO.
Yeah, the thing about BDO, they always have really long lines out here in the province. The lines are insane at BDO. Okay, long lines, 20 to 40 people waiting in line. Doesn't matter what time you go. There's long lines. It's the biggest bank out here. Okay. And so they do all the processing for pretty much, like, you can go anywhere, you're going to find BDO.
Yes.
But
as far as like going inside the bank, they have long lines.
They have really long lines.
So for us, we go to PNB, the line there is probably a quarter of the line at BDO.
And then Metro Manila, or Metro Bank. There's all these other banks too. Here's the thing. If you want to do any banking, you have to go to your branch. So if you want to do any banking somewhere else, they're not going to help you as much as your branch would, because your branch holds your they have everything in these files, old school, and they open it up and they look at your application, they look at your signature, they make sure they match. It's like old school,
Yeah, it is old school. In fact, she's she got her own bank account.
Yeah, I did.
And so it's I was like, well, you have to be a Filipino to open up a bank account here. That's not the case, not with Philippine National Bank. And I always go back to Philippine National Bank
because that's what we know.
That's what we know, and that's what we're used to. But we could have applied for BDO. I'm thankful that we didn't apply for BDO because the lines are always long. ATM lines are long. The bank line are always long because we've gone there. I've tried to deposit the vehicle manager's check to BDO because the dealership had a banking with BDO, but the line was so long. And I was like, nah, there's got to be a better way.
Literally, if you're going to go to the bank, you need the whole day. Expect to be at the bank for hours. That's just how it is over here if you're doing anything at the bank.
Mm-hmm. But What's the longest you've waited at a bank?
Probably like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
I took a nap, and I woke up and I was like, "Oh, it's still not my number."
Yeah. What were you trying to do that day?
I think that day I was trying to take out some money
Yeah.
from the account. Yeah, and then they were like, "Well, you have to go see the manager." I don't know. I'm always having problems at the bank, you know. I'm just like, seriously, people, it drives me crazy. The bank drives me crazy. I hate the bank.
For me, it's been smooth. I just raised my eyebrow and the lady at the line's like, sure.
Well, I don't speak Tagalog or Ilocano, so
Just kidding. But I don't have an issue. They made her fill out more paperwork. I didn't have to fill out any paperwork.
They're like,
at all.
sorry, ma'am, you can't take any money out unless you have your ATM card with you. I was like, what? They're like, yeah, and you also have to have this card here that says your bank account number. And I was like, why? You guys can look up my bank account number. I have ID card. They're like, nope, this is how we do it here. And I was like, okay. So the next time I came with my bank card, and then they're like, oh, well, you need to see the manager. You have to get approval to take your money out. And I was like, what? So then I go see the manager. Manager says, yeah, that's fine. That's her. They look at on my account. Where do you live? How long are you here? Like they're very, very. I'm like, I live over there. I'm here. This is me. It's my bank. You know. Yeah, it's not easy.
So I forgot my train of thought, but that was going to be about banking. Yeah. So go apply, do these things now. And the thing is, for PNB, you could have applied for a dollar amount or peso amount. You could have applied for like the booklet checking or the booklet savings or an ATM.
Like the passport.
We have decided to do the ATM, which is kind of like the best thing to have. You can fit in your wallet. And the thing is, you can, like with the booklet, you can't do that. You can't go to an ATM and pull funds from your account. And so that's the advantage. And the thing is, checking you have to pay on a monthly basis, I believe, but savings you don't have to do that. So having that will be easier for you to transfer funds, and it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
By far the cheapest when transferring funds from USD to Philippine peso.
Like we've done Remitly. We wasted a lot of money using Remitly. Not the best option. The best option that we have found, and we have tried a lot of different things, is have a bank account here, have a bank account in the US, have the US send the money directly by wire transfer. It costs $25. Doesn't matter the amount.
Could be 1,000, 5,000,
could be
40,000,
30,000, whatever, right? So it's just a $25 fee. Versus they charge you on Remitly a percentage of what you send, which is way more expensive.
Like 1%.
I think we sent $2,000 and it was like $60.
Yeah,
it was expensive.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. So is there anything else that you want to talk about today?
Well, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: out of the 76 boxes that we sent here on a Balikbayan box, how many have you opened?
Probably like 8.
So we have a room. We have a room full of Balikbayan boxes that we haven't even opened, right? And the thing is, we are looking at each other, right? So Filipinos say like, oh, the Burr months, September, October, November, December, those are the winter. They're really cold.
It's hot here.
We didn't even wear sweaters.
Well, I know people wore sweaters for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, but we didn't even wear sweaters. Even now, people are wearing sweaters. We don't. And so it's like we brought all these. I brought suits. I'm like, why? Jackets, pea coats. We sent thick blankets for no reason at all. And we have all kinds of stuff and doing all these things. And we haven't even opened up these boxes. So now we open these boxes and we're like...
even our kids are saying, why did we bring this? It's funny because I let my kids pack some of the boxes with all their toys and stuff. And so they're opening up these boxes and they're looking at the toys and like, Mom, what are we going to do with this? I was like, throw it in the trash. Yeah, we should have not sent so much stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there are some things that are really great to have. You know, it's great to have the bicycles. It's great to have, you know, like name brand products that you really like. You know, You can find Clinique here for your facial lotions and stuff, but like maybe there's some shampoos that you really like that are salon, like Enjoy or something, that have no sulfate. I can't find that anywhere. A lot of the shampoos that I look at in the salons have alcohol in them. So, and even if they're imported from the United States, like there's some stuff that is near and dear to you. If it's near and dear to you and it's a good product, bring it with you.
Yeah.
You know.
And then, you know what? Something else too is like we are in the Apple ecosystem, and if you're not in the Apple ecosystem, good for you, right? But for us, it's great. My kids have Apple Watches, right, and we are tracking them all the time where they're at, right?
And
For
they're
us,
able to
that's
communicate
safety.
with
They're
us.
able to communicate with us. Our Apple phones, Apple laptops, right? For us, it's more secure. Because we are in the Apple ecosystem, right? We also have the Apple Card, and it has been wonder.
The Apple
It-
Card
Apple
has
Card.
it is a secure. It has like no numbers on it, and also you have it in your watch. And everywhere we go, they're always looking at us like, "What are you talking about? Why are you bringing your watch out to pay for things?" Like this, the stores are really confused, and I'll be like, "Just put it in there. We'll do the tap feature." Oh my God, it works! And they think it's like magic, wonderful technology that they've never seen or heard of. And even when they hold our titanium card and they look at it like, what's the numbers? What's the expiration? And we're like, whatever it says on the paperwork that fills out. Like, I'm not telling you my phone number. I'm not telling you my address. I'm not telling you. There's my name. That's all you get.
Yeah.
And but they hold it and they're just like amazed. They're like, look, it's titanium, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see the interest, but also to be like, what do we do with this?
So what other advantages other than being able to not have to pull out the card and pay with your watch? What other advantages are there for the Apple Card?
Well, there's the transaction fees. There's none, you know.
No foreign transaction fees, none.
Yeah, and so right now we're doing a free commercial for Apple, iWatch, iPhone, iCard, the whole system. All right, here it is. But yeah, no, we really love the Apple everything.
Right. And so 0 interest too, and then if you pay into it, once you like, let's say you buy another Apple product, there's the Apple Cash, right?
Oh my God. Okay, so we can't use our Apple Cash here. All right. Where's your
I don't
phone?
know.
Were you gonna show them?
I was gonna show them.
I don't even know. Okay, because he hasn't showed me. So like before we came to the Philippines, we got these Apple cards, right? And so it has a cashback. So you get 1% or up to 3% depending on how you're using your card. Well, because we can't use it here in the Philippines, we are getting this Apple card that keeps building and building and building. And it's like, I see all this money we're saving just by using it here in the Philippines.
Yeah, like the 3% back if you buy
the 2%, the 1%.
2%, yeah.
And it is growing daily because it's a daily thing. So whenever we swipe our card, so we bought appliances here, we bought beds, we bought like all these big purchases, and
It was through the Apple Card.
it's through the Apple card, and we're getting our percentage back.
And something else too, a great feature, is that once I do a tap, like I see it on my phone
Immediately.
that it has been charged
Mm.
before they can even print out the paperwork.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, that's so beautiful. And I can go into the application, right, on my phone and see all the transactions and where we've been.
Yeah.
So it is safe. And the thing is, because the number is not on the card, the expiration date is not on the card,
Right.
the CVV code is not on the card, it is super safe and super secure.
Yeah. They can't write it down so that they can use it when you're not around, you know. They can't take a picture of it and do some online purchases. No, like they either have to physically have the card to swipe the chip, Or yeah, that's pretty much it. You know.
That's pretty much it. But we have other credit cards. So I decided that like you need a MasterCard, you need a Visa card,
We have
and
American
then
Express.
you need a bank card, right? So
Mhm.
you need to have multiple bank cards in the United States just in case you lose an ATM.
Like the best card to have out here, by the way, is
It's
Charles Schwab.
Charles Schwab.
Charles Schwab. Have Charles Schwab as your main like debit card
withdrawal
from ATMs, because they refund any kind of fees that
fees.
you got, whether it be anywhere, and there's no transaction fees either. They give you the best rate for your money.
exchange rates.
Your exchange rate is the best, and so you can go and you can withdraw what you need for the day or for the month or for whatever, and you get it from your U.S. Charles Schwab right here in Philippines. You get it out of the ATM in pesos, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Like you don't even need an account if you didn't in the Philippines if you didn't want one.
But it's no, you need to have it. You need to have it.
It is a good thing to have a Philippine account.
You need to have it for big purchases like
Big
buying
purchases.
a motorcycle, AC units, paying
Yeah.
directly like bank to bank transactions,
Yeah. Paying bills.
paying
You
bills
can pay
too.
your bills online.
Let me see. So for withdrawals at ATMs, we use Charles Schwab. For any other charges, we use our Apple Card. If for whatever reason that business does not take the Apple Card, we'll just walk away.
Yeah, or we'll use American Express, because they do take American Express in a lot of places.
Right, but it's very rare that we do that. I think we've only done that one time.
Well, yeah, only a couple times
One
did
time.
we pull out our American Express.
Right.
Yeah.
But American Express is also good.
Yeah, they usually can take our Apple Card everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But cash is king here, guys. You need to have some cash, because like the trash man takes cash. The person who helps us around the house, we pay her in cash. We pay cash everywhere. Okay. So the ice cream man cash, everybody's cash.
All right, cool. Well, I think that's pretty much it. We have to go buy some lunch.
Yeah, we gotta go figure out our lunch situation.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us today, and have a wonderful
Toodles.